Good morning, or depending on when you're watching this, good afternoon, good evening, or good night. My name's Ross, and as always told, out of Voice of Radio. So today, we need to take a little bit of a look at a new product which has gone and been revealed in China. Now, this has started happening a little bit lately, and it seems very much like we might be getting into a situation where we're going to start seeing products that are actually revealed in China rather than in Japan, Europe, etc., like we have been, well, getting used to more recently. The thing is, this new product which is going to have been revealed for China has actually got some brand new cards in that we've not seen before, and although we don't actually have clear enough images that we can see so we know exactly what's in them, I do believe very strongly that this is worth having a chat about, and this is super interesting. Now, what we've basically got is a single strike / rapid strike box, and the best parallel that I can make with this particular product is to the Trainer's Toolkit. Now, the Trainer's Toolkit was one that came out a little while ago. I spoke about it in just glowing terms on this particular channel, and it came with a couple of packs. I think it's 4 packs, it wasn't very many, but it also came with a whole bunch of staples that you can use for building your deck, and it also came with a couple of alternate art cards that we hadn't seen before, which was really very cool. Well, it seems like China's getting a very similar thing, and if we have a look at the contents here, there's a whole bit of a mashup going on. You'll notice that they're actually getting the shiny Crobat V, which did get its own box over in Japan, which is very, very cool. And you'll notice there that there are a whole bunch of staples. All of those new special energy, like Speed Lightning, attached to a Lightning Energy to draw 2 cards, and Powerful Colorless Energy, lets colorless Pokemon do an extra 20 damage, etc. They're all there. There are staples like, for instance, Quick Ball, and Professor's Research, and Marnie, and Boss's Orders, which basically go into every deck, which is really cool. We've got a whole bunch of basic energy. We've got a whole bunch of packs of both Single Strike and Rapid Strike Master. We've got coin and deck box and sleeves and all sorts of goodies for the Chinese Pokemon fan. And then we've got 2 cards which are shown with question marks. But the good news is we have seen a very small, very blurry image which shows us what those cards actually are. They are Korrina and Bruno. And more than that, there is a Rapid Strike Korrina card and a Single Strike Bruno card. Now, my Chinese is not particularly good. I'm going to be honest with you on this one. But if we have a look, it is very clearly a card called Bruno. Bruno being, of course, one of the Elite Four from Gen 1 from the Kanto region. But that is not Korrina. No, look, obviously it's Korrina. It is the roller skating, helmet wearing, pigtailed blonde gym leader from Gen 6. What I mean is, look at the name of that card. There is no way the name of that card is Korrina. I don't know Korrina's Chinese name off the top of my head, but I'm still willing to bet that it's not that long. So, yeah. I feel fairly confident this isn't called Korrina. Now, the fact that it's not called Korrina is actually extremely important, because remember, we have previously had a card called Korrina. Also, for what it's worth, over on Bulbapedia, they have got her name listed in both Cantonese and both forms of Mandarin, neither of which is nearly long enough to be the name of this particular card. So it's not that, all right? She's not, it's not called that. Cool. So, it's not a reprint of Korrina. Now, I kind of wish it was a reprint of Korrina. Now, partly I've got great memories of playing Korrina in a bunch of decks. I played Korrina in my Donphan deck, which I liked very much. I played Korrina in my Mean Xiao deck, which was one I liked very much. And I played Korrina in my Garchomp deck. I do have a tendency towards playing fighting type decks, as you may know. So my point is, I was a big fan of that card, but what it really let you do, right? It let you search for a fighting Pokemon and an item card. That was what Korrina did. And it was a cool card that was really good. It was cool in, say, Stage 2 decks where you could get a rare candy in your Stage 2 fighting Pokemon like, oh, I don't know, top of my head, Garchomp. The thing is, the one thing we know about this Korrina is that it is a Rapid Strike card. So it probably wouldn't get you a fighting Pokemon and an item card. It would probably get you a Rapid Strike Pokemon and an item card, or a Rapid Strike Pokemon and a Rapid Strike item or trainer, or something along those lines. But remember that one of the Rapid Strike cards we have seen so far is Octillery. And Octillery is a Stage 1 Pokemon. Now, the ability doesn't stack, but it lets you search for any single strike card once during your turn and put it into your hand. Which means that you would use Korrina to search Octillery, you would evolve into Octillery, and then search another card. If we just had a Rapid Strike Korrina, search for a Rapid Strike Pokemon and an item card, or a Rapid Strike Pokemon and a Rapid Strike trainer, or something along those lines, it would be awesome! And as I keep saying, it is really important to note, we have not seen all the Single Strike and Rapid Strike cards, so we can only ever talk with the best information we've got at the time, but that seems like a supporter card that I would want to play in those decks, because it gets your Octillery nice and early, which is really going to just run your deck for the rest of the game. And to be honest, we could have seen Korrina coming, because, well, we had that artwork I showed you the other day, which I called, the best artwork we've seen. And it was on a deck box and sleeves, and it's Korrina there with Hawlucha and Mean Shao. Bearing in mind, we know that we're getting Rapid Strike Mean Shao, and although it's not confirmed, I feel very confident we are getting a Rapid Strike Hawlucha, which is another Pokemon I played a whole bunch of in a whole bunch of these fighting decks when it was legal, when we were all playing around with Gen 6. It made me very happy indeed. And my point here is that this looks kind of exciting. Now, we don't even have a glimpse of the text of this card. All we can do is compare it to the one we saw previously. But the old Korrina was all about getting set up and searching out your cards. And the Rapid Strike gimmick seems to be speed. Octillery searches stuff out. Rapid Strike Energy is a double energy. So would anyone really be surprised if the hook of Korrina was, I'm going to help you get rolling a little bit faster than you otherwise would have done? I mean, not only would I be surprised, but I think at this stage that's almost a given. That just seems like something which is going to happen. I really, really want to know what this card does. The other card we've been shown is Bruno. And Bruno's kind of a weird one. Because on the one hand, Bruno has never actually had a card. And on the other hand, Bruno has had 8 cards. You see, over in Japan, they had the VS set. And the VS set basically gave you a bunch of cards which would have owners on them. Well, that was it. They were owners' cards. But we never got this set. So things like Bruno's Steelix and Bruno's Machamp. They were cards that saw release in Japan, but not over here. Now, they all came out in the Versus set other than Bruno's Hitmonchan, which came out in the Tyranitar half deck. But there were basically 8 Bruno cards that came around in the Versus set, but given that we never got the Versus set, we never got these Bruno cards. So this will be the debut of Bruno, at least in the English version of the trading card game. So what does this mean for other fighting type gym leaders? Now, we're probably not getting a B card, because we literally just got B a set or two ago. B is a very, very recent card, so you can probably assume that we're not getting B. But what about the others? What about Maylene? Maylene's never had her own card before, so maybe we need a Maylene. What about Brawly? Brawly's never had its own card, or his own card, so maybe we need a Brawly card. What about Chuck? We've never had a Chuck card before. Maybe we need a Chuck card. That would be nice. Although I should mention, Chuck also had a bunch of VS cards, including Chuck's Don Fan, which I don't need to go and get a version of because the lovely Antoine Boulet hooked me up with one of those, because Antoine, as I've said on many, many occasions, is a very lovely person indeed. Now, while we're here cleaning things up, alright, let's just say this very quickly. Maylene kind of had a couple of cards, both Lucario GL that saw a lot of play, and Machamp GL that didn't. They weren't Maylene cards really, because they didn't have her name etc. on them, but they were gym leader cards from the Diamond and Pearl sets that did actually have Maylene on them. So I think they probably count. And we kind of, I say we, I mean Japan, kind of had a Brawly card. There were cards, they were called Gym Badge, and they were released, they were the same card, but there were a bunch of them released, one of which did have Brawly artwork. So that's the closest Brawly's ever had to having his own card. I'm not going to sit here and go through all the other fighting gym leaders. I just wanted to give a couple of examples. But I think it's really interesting and important to note that there are a bunch of fighting type gym leaders. So if we're going to be having Bruno and Korrina, what's to stop us having others? Bearing in mind, and this is really important, Rapid Strike and Single Strike are based around Urshifu, and both Rapid Strike and Single Strike Urshifu are part fighting type, so it does make absolute perfect sense that we would be getting a bunch of fighting type gym leaders who would be essentially coming around in and around these sets to support these Pokemon. We do have the text of Bruno, but it's far, far too small to read, so I just wanted to go on a bit about these gym leaders and the different cards we might be getting, etc. This is super interesting to me, and I just wish I had a better answer for you. I think Korrina's going to be some kind of support card, and I think Bruno is probably going to be something to do with doing extra damage, because that seems to be what Single Strike tends to do. And I do think we are going to get other fighting type gym leaders. It's just going to be really interesting to see which ones we actually get. And actually, I just checked my list. We have talked about all the fighting type gym leaders in this video, so yay! Unless I'm being dumb and missed one, in which case let me know in the comment section. But do let me know which gym leaders, fighting type you want to see in the trading card game. Do let me know your predictions for these cards. Go nuts in the comment section, but be nice! And then make sure you like this video, subscribe to this channel, follow me on Twitter at TheWassy, and Twitch for some live action at twitch.tv/PTCGRadio. If you want to support the channel, get some bonus podcasts and all that good stuff, head on over to patreon.com/PTCGRadio, where you can do exactly that. But by far the most important thing, as always, look after yourselves till next time, would ya? Thank you very much for watching. My name's Ross, and you've been watching PTCG Radio.